Hey folks, Justin, Tackle Tactics. I'm here with Sean Bekkers from the Tackle Tactics Pro team. We're basically just launching the kayaks, but Sean can't help himself. There's a bit of bait flicking here, so you never know. Might get a fish before you even get out on the water. This morning, what we're gonna do is we get hit up a lot. Where'd you catch that? Where'd you catch that? You know, where did you catch your fish? To us, spots are less important than techniques. And that's the thing that you got to keep in your head. Like, you know, there's spots will change, you know, some of your favorite spots, good in winter, not good in summer, tides, rain, all sorts of stuff affects spots. So I wouldn't be so fixated on spots. There's fish all over the place. The key thing is to learn a set of good solid techniques, whether it be Ned rig, slow rolling, hopping, heavier plastics, deep water, shallow water. The more techniques you've got, the better a chance you are of being successful when you're fishing a new spot. So for us today, basically this is a new spot. I've never fished lures here in my life. So the plan today is to break down the bank. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk you through, we got a good rattle. We're gonna talk you through basically what we're doing, what we're seeing, the type of bank that we're fishing and that sort of thing, and what techniques we're selecting to fish that particular bank. And hopefully we get a few fish in amongst it. So stay tuned. We're gonna be breaking down the bank. Fish on. Drive by. I'll just go up this way a bit from you.
Any rattles, mate?
One decent, felt like a brim bite.
I had one small rattle like a pikey.
Oh yep. Oh yep, there we go. Alright, so we're pretty much just working this edge. See what we can come up with. We've got an edge that drops off over this side and then it comes up to a bank over here. Oh, we want to get him in the net because he's got it right down. He's got, don't do those shakes, buddy, get in the net. So there we go, that's probably maybe just under flatty, but we're basically fishing a drain. Haven't fished it before with a lure, so I'm pretty stoked. Half a dozen casts in, and yeah, it's a drain. So up on this side we've got bank and mangroves and forest. On the other side here it goes out to a center bank and comes up to shallow water. So mess here, get our accessory float untangled back in the net, get our net out of the way. So we kick things off, you know, we're pretty much in maybe metre to a metre and a half of water, just drifting along here. So the usual suspect gets a run straight up, our flats presentation. You can see in there we've got that 1/4 demons, and we've got that 2.5 inch slim swims, which is so effective in these flats. So there you go, that's why we wanted to get him in the net. Just bit me off because I could see that lure in his gob and he was doing those head shakes, which are lethal on your leaders with their raspy plates in their mouth. And I'll just pop that lure back out. That's good to go again. 10 times tough Z-Man, so that slim swims is good for plenty more fish. That bloke is 42. He's not a bad sort of eating size. That sort of, I like him around that, generally around that 45 to max 55, then I let him go. But that fella there, nice and early on the board, we might whack him in there for dinner. That's still that slim swims that's almost got the tail bitten off.
Really?
Yeah. Dead set. You gotta smile, you know. Z-Man 2.5 inch slimmies. This plastic. Sean and I had a cracker session the other day. We got a bunch of flatties and brim and all sorts of things. Sean got, I think, 7 species for the session. But have a look at the tail on this slim swims. So that tail's almost bitten off, and it's been like that now for about probably 8, 9, 10 fish, and that tail is still going. That's the one that flathead just ate then. So crazy strong. That tail, it still swims. Main thing is I just check that it still swims. Swim it beside the kayak, make sure it still looks good. And I don't care how chewed up it is, as long as it looks good in the water, fish is going to eat it. That's cool. So that flatty then, I'll just spin us around. So back on this flat here, So we're basically fishing, Sean's fishing the edge of where it steps up to this middle bank. And basically there we're just rolling slim swim. So I was just basically making a long cast. I give it a couple of quick hops in case it's dug in the weed or the bottom. And then all I was doing was just slow rolling that plastic over this flat. And that flat, he didn't muck around, he nailed that plastic. So it was a pretty good take. I thought it was a brim at first because he just came in and gave it that whack and head shake, and I thought it was a brimbo, but yeah, it turned out to be a legal flatty, so that's a great start. One thing with coming to a new spot like this, we pretty much just had a bit of a look on Google Maps, had a look at the area, had a look on some charts just to see sort of water depths and that sort of thing. So we're basically fishing a run that'll start up pretty shallow where we are here, mainly sand, bit of mud, a little bit of rock, a little bit of weed, and where we drift off further up, we drift into more structure, rock, deeper water, that sort of thing. So I've pretty much just got my standard kit, bit of Ned rig stuff, bit of slim swims on 1/8, 1/6 quarter ounce heads, some minnows, quarter, 3/8 heads, and yeah, just the basics, some Procure scent, and pretty well have enough variety in there to catch what we want to catch. The area that we're in here, there's not a lot of standout structure. It's pretty much bank into drain up to another bank. So Sean's spotted a bit of rock there, so that's prime structure. So anything you see where it's like a weed edge, a drop off, a deeper hollow, bit of rock, bit of timber, definitely worth a few more casts. Otherwise we're pretty much just rolling flats, looking for weed edges, just keeping that plastic moving. Fish on! Up on that weed bed. That's awesome. Sean's just working that slimmy up onto that weed edge. Oh, you got the grub on. Nice lizard, eh? 2.5 inch grubs. What colour?
Greenish.
Greenish.
All good.
Fish on. 2.5 inch grubs.
2.5 inch grubs. I think we get it out of here.
Quarter 1/0 demons.
Yep.
Beautiful.
A little bit funky looking, but got the attention. The net's very handy at the moment. Oh yeah, you can see it.
Yeah, that's cool. Nice flatfish. Well,
don't do that. Especially with your
at least he's in the yak, mate. That's the main thing.
Yeah. Get a little bit of a tighter grip on it.
There you go, beautiful. Nice flatfish.
Little flatfish.
Yep. Smash that grubs.
Right in the corner.
Yep. And just hopping it off that weed edge.
I didn't even get a chance to crank it.
He just ate it.
In, on.
Beautiful. That's the way we like it.
Yep.
On.
Yep.
Buckle up. Brimbo.
Flatfish.
Angry flatfish.
Very angry.
Loving the grubs. In the net, that's where you want them. Watermelon red, 2.5 inch grubs. Demon's jig head.
Yep.
Just
Same.
working that rubbly weed edge.
Yep. Doing good. He's a bit better, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Retrieve.
A couple of hops and a bit of a slow roll, but I did one slow roll, one pause, boom, game on.
On the depthometer we're
Most of a paddle length. Yeah. So he's probably 540s.
yeah, beautiful flatfish, eh?
Try and get him out, boys. not.
Nah. Oh, there's the lure out.
Just pinned him.
That's why it's important to get those guys in the net, hey?
I'll throw that over to you.
They shake those lures. That's for sure. There we go. Grubs. Demon's head. Flatfish on. No one's in the water, it'll probably get eaten. Nice fish.
Good eating size, huh?
Yeah, good eating size, that's for sure. Beautiful flatty.
Happy days.
Well, that's pretty cool, mate, eh? You know, a bit of a look on Google Maps.
Yeah.
And found those bit of, you know, few weed edges and rubble patches and that sort of thing.
Well, that's it. We gave ourselves some options. We started on the, you know, what looked promising and just didn't seem to fire, and came across the shallow stuff in the middle, and we've got a feed, and been what, hour and a half?
Yeah.
Hour and a half on the water.
Three flatties and a brim plus a little flatty before we even slid the axe into the water.
Yeah.
So, yeah, pretty good little session, but it just shows people, you know, we haven't fished this spot with lures before, but you just got to have the techniques down and have a bit of an idea of the structure that you're fishing, and away you go, eh?
And I think you've just got to have a couple of options as well. Like Slimmy's always our go-to.
Yep.
I tend to have a packet of grubs and bugs just sitting there as a just in case. And,
Yep.
you know, that's paid off for me today. So
Yeah, show them something different. They've loved that grubs.
yeah.
Yeah, fish on. As soon as that land, that got drilled right on that edge. So you've seen Sean's just belted a couple on the grubs. I've got the 2.5 slimmy going. That one feels all right, giving me some stick. Sean's fishing that Helios SX combo, which is beautiful lightweight gear. He loves it. Okay, before we were rudely interrupted by that GoPro battery going flat, Murphy's Law. That's the way things happen, eh? So I've changed the GoPro battery, we're back in action. So basically just working that edge, that weed edge. We've seen Sean bang a couple straight up on the grubs after that little move we did. This one's on my Slimmy, my go-to. It's not a bad fish either, gave me a fair bit of stick. It was a great fight. You saw half of it before the GoPro ran out, but
Still angry, man.
yeah, he's still fired up.
Green on him.
Yeah, he's still fired up, but that's a nice, like yours, nice eating size sort of flatty.
Yeah.
Pretty stoked with that. Nailed that Slimmy. Oh, I've finally done my tail. That little tail's been on there. It's caught that many fish.
Up to 50 fish.
Yeah, finally done that tail off the end of that. I'll have to put a fresh one on, but yeah, beautiful fishing, mate. Like amazing, hey, you know. People are always fixated on where's your spot, where's your spot, where's your spot. Well, we've never fished this spot before.
No.
And here we go. We've done a little bit of homework, looked for some weed edge and that sort of thing. You know, we're fishing the right gear, the right techniques. That's what it comes down to. Just working the right lures, using the right techniques, and we're just bouncing it off that weed edge. Slow rolling it if it's in real shallow, or giving it a few hops down the face if it's a little bit deeper. And yeah, brilliant session. Love it.
And not even like it's not even full day. Like we go back for bacon egg breakfast.
Go back for bacon and egg
Wake
breakfast.
everyone up and home.
Yeah, that's it, mate. It's been a quick fire few fish, that's for sure.
That's it.
3-inch minnows, slimmies. That's my typical kit. A few packets of minnows, a few packets of slim swims. Generally some TRD bugs, TRD hogs. Packet of grubs. Just got to have that bit of variety there, just in case. Like Sean said, you know, he's done well, switched up to the grubs and smashed them. We'll put him in there to dispose of later. New plucky on. Just got that fella on the midnight oil, so we'll go to the midnight oil again. Finally lost that little tail that was hanging off the end. It's been going for that many fish. We were joking about it the other day because it's just been smashing them still, so I haven't taken it off. There we go, new Slimmy on, ready to roll. New Slimmy, of course, means a bit of scent. Definitely don't go too far without a bit of scent. Today I've been using the new saltwater yabby nipper flavour. Gun, you know, where we're fishing here, sand bottom, weed beds. You know, yabby's a favourite food of these fish, so why not Match the hatch with our lure, match the hatch with our scent. Plenty of little bait fish and stuff up on this flat. Scent it up, fish on. Throw all our crap back in our dry bag. Dry bag I find an awesome way to store stuff in the yak. So in this dry bag I've got just my Z-Man bait binders loaded with my pluckies and scent and bits and pieces. I've also got my GoPro bits and pieces in there and that sort of stuff, and the good thing is that bag will actually float. If I leave a bit of air in it like I have there and it falls in the water, it'll float, so I'm not going to lose anything as well. Alright, let's get back in position. Alright, so I'm just paddling back up, just landed that flatty. Sean and I have had a cracker session. You know, we did our homework a little bit. That wind's annoying. Hopefully we're not getting too much wind in the mic, but we did our homework and just Google Maps, found a few weed edges and a bit of a bank. We fished the edge for a little bit. Got a couple of fish, but didn't do super well, so we moved out onto this middle weed edge. And we've definitely found a few flatfish out here, so it's been an excellent little session. Zip out, couple of hours, back in time for brekkie. Stoked. Sean's drifted in, he's working that inside edge. He's chasing the big girl, I think. Drifted in there. So as I cruise along here, I'm keeping an eye out for dark patches of weed. It's a bit of a broken weed bed, but there's darker patches. I can see a dark patch here. So that'll be holding bait and in turn holding fish. So I'm just going to make a cast right to that deeper edge, deeper weed edge. Let's see what we come up with. You can definitely see the bait holding around those weed patches. So that's going to be wonderful fishing. The wind is driving us insane this morning. But we've, oh yeah, there we go. We've put up with the wind. And we've nailed a few flatfish, and that's another nice little flatty. Whoa, don't bite me off, buddy. So again, up in that patch of weed, and fish on. Oh, he's got it down his gob too. We don't want to get bitten off. Oh, he's playing up. He is not happy at all. That's on my go-to little slimmy again. I'm gonna drop the lip grips on him. So there you go. That's what I was talking about there. I just paddled along, found the weed edge. Once I found the weed edge, made the cast up to the darker bit where I could see the bait holding, and this fish was just hanging up in there. So he's just hanging up, waiting for that bait and smashing it. Right, we got the lure off. That's a start. He's another good eating size fish, just mid 40s, so nice flatty. But there you go. Again, just went up onto that edge of the weed, saw that dark patch, flicked to that darker patch, fish on. Paddle back to the weed edge again, flick in there amongst that dark weed, and we're just going to hop that packy out. So we're using 1/4 ounce 1/0 heads. I've got the Slim Swims 2.5, Sean's got the Grubs 2.5. Both tested, proven, deadly little presentations, that's for sure. And you don't just get like average size flatties on them, you get some big fish on them too. If the bait's small in the area, big fish will eat that little plucky. I'm just allowing that plastic to fall to the bottom. Give it a couple of hops up, fall to the bottom again. It's not very deep, so you could just about twitch and slow roll it across the flat and achieve the same thing. Those fish will rise off the bottom a foot or two and nail that plastic. So water depth here is maybe 1 to 1.5 metres. The edge that we're flicking up onto is maybe 2 to 3 foot, so half metre up to 90 centimetres a metre. So it's just an awesome depth for flathead. I love fishing for flathead in that half metre to 1.5 metres is brilliant. On, mate. Yep. On the paws, got nailed. I'm on my way.
Hey,
catch and release, early release, beautiful. It saves you getting spiked. Yep. Oh, there we go. Oh, angry. It feels like a brimbo. There's the brimbo we were talking about. Only a little fella, but definitely up there as well on that weed edge. I don't even mind catching them that big. They're good fun, hey. Put a bend in your rod. That's what it's about. Going to put a little bit more scent on this. That yabby nipper flavour, that's been deadly. Love that Procure Super Gel. You know, masks foreign scents like sunscreen, fuels and any other soaps and whatever you got on your hands. It masks those foreign odours. Then it's got that amino acids, bite stimulants, real ground bait, UV enhancement, all that good gear that just gets the fish to hold on longer. You know, if it attracts a bite I wasn't going to get, that's awesome. If it gets the fish to hold on for a second longer so I can set the hook, brilliant. That's what we're all about, setting the hooks. That's another one. That's 2 sole in 2 sessions for you. Seems to be this time of year in the start of the lead into the cooler weather, eh? They get angry.
Good size. Good eating size.
Now there you go, there's a different type of flatfish. So that is a flounder or sole.
And smashed a blue glimmer.
Slimmy.
Slimmy.
Natural bait fishy sort of colour, eh? Of course that one's got to go back in the water, eh?
Yeah.
Because the girls won't let you eat them.
Oh, they think they're so ugly that they're cute.
Yeah. There you go, sole away. Sherry's the same. She won't let me eat one. I used to eat them as a kid though, beautiful, eh?
Yeah.
Pan fried, bit of butter. Oh well. It's out there for someone else to catch. Brimbo again. Oh, that's an angry brimbo. Oh, it might be a little Trev maybe. Feels a bit angry for a brim. Yeah, it's a stinker. Fringe fin. Bit of fun anyway, that guy. Those guys are always a good bit of fun. Fringe fin trevally. Crazy fins on him. Grunting away. Crazy looking fish.
Hellfish.
Fringe fin trevally. Their slime stinks.
Yeah. Stinkers.
Stinkers. See you, buddy.
Get out.
Yep. Yep. Fish on. Off that edge. Pocket rocket.
What is it?
Little bar tail floodie. You can see the difference between the dusky and the bar tail. That's a beautiful little bar tail. The dusky's got the black dot on his tail. The bar tail's got that really pretty tail. Bar tail or sand flathead or whatever you want to call them. They generally don't grow as big. Even if I get a big one, I generally let them go just because they're, you know, plenty of duskies around and they're just beautiful piece of artwork on that tail. Alright little buddy, don't spike me, don't spike me. He's away. Beautiful. Oh wow, I just watched that flounder eat it. I looked down, I thought it was the ray, and then I just watched the flounder eat it, hey? That's awesome. There you go, dudes. There's one of the crazier fish you'll ever encounter. The soul of a flounder. Both eyes on one side of his head. You'll see white underneath there because it doesn't really see the sun. Yeah, cool fish. Really nice, pan fried in butter. My wife thinks they're beautiful. So he can go back in the water. Very cool. That plastic was just sitting on the bottom and that fish is eating it because of that buoyant tail sitting up in the air. I was messing around paddling back into position and this fish has just drilled that off the bottom because it's just sitting there with its tail up. That's another nice little floodie. This has been an insane session on the flatfish. There you come, baby. This has been a really insane session on the flatties. Not giant fish, but awesome eating size fish to keep a couple for a feed, and then you know, good fun fighting size as well. So I just flicked that up on that edge again, in the weed edge, let it fall to the bottom, and I was adjusting, using the paddle to adjust position because of the wind. It's only just hooked in the lip. Yeah, adjusting position, the plastic was sitting on the bottom, and because those Z-Man plackies are buoyant, when that's sitting on the bottom, its tail is sitting up in the air, just waving around in the water. So when I picked that rod up again from positioning, the fish was already on there, it had already eaten the plastic. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Not a giant fish, but again, mid-40s, so there's a big girl in there somewhere. So Sean and I this morning, that's probably flathead number 10. Flathead number 10, a couple of brim, stinker, a few other bits and pieces, you know. And this is a spot, we've never fished this spot before with plastic shell. It shows you it's not about the spots, it's about the techniques. The fish can be anywhere depending on season, tide, rain, all sorts of factors can vary where the fish are. You just gotta cover ground, use those techniques, and you'll find fish.